I'm excited. I think this is a new era for myself. I've been out here in Phoenix for 6 years, drafted out here, got to play with the goat of basketball. I got to learn a lot, learn how to become a pro, and now I get to go to Indiana to play with some of the best players around the world right now. And so I really don't know what my role is going to be. We still had to build that rhythm and that chemistry, but what I do know is that we have all the puzzle pieces that we need. We have a group that is hungry for winning. The egos are going to be put aside. It's all about putting the ball in the hoop and supporting one another. And so I'm just excited to get up there. I think everyone's excited for us to kind of get going and see what we can do this year. But I just think we're really good people too. I'm really excited to not only be with Caitlin, but you have Dewana Bonner, who has championships. You have Natasha Howard, who's an absolute stud with a championship. Aaliyah Boston, who's young in our league, but a force to be reckoned with. Cindy Colson won championship. So I just feel like there's all these young players who are hungry with a lot of experience. And I just think that's the perfect combination for success. I think we were all surprised with how good it turned out for us. And again, you can have all the puzzle pieces, but it's all about putting the puzzle together, right? And so I think that's where the chemistry and the care off the court really come into play, because then you can go to battle and really fight for something bigger. And I it's hard for me to speak on it because we haven't had our team together yet. Everyone's kind of been all over the place. We're all about to be in market soon. But when I say that we just have really, really good people, not only as players, but the coaching staff, the front office, everyone cares. Everyone loves the game. Everybody wants to win. And I think when everyone has that same common goal in mind, I just think good things happen. And I'm just excited to do it with great players, but great people as well. I think that Indiana is probably one of the hottest teams around the world right now. There's so many eyes, and that's a really positive thing. But at the end of the day, it's just basketball, right? And you got to go and you got to play your game that you've been playing since you were 4 years old. And so I think something that excites me the most is Indiana is more my style of play. It's out here we've had a lot of vets who they've won that way, but that doesn't mean that I thrived in that offense. And so for me, I'm all about the motion offense. I'm about the run and gun, the get into the paint, kick and shoot. And I think when all your players on the court can handle the ball and they can all shoot, man, it's gonna be good for us. And so I think that's what I'm most excited about is I kind of get to get back to my ways of where I thrive in the offense. We've talked quite a bit in the past couple of months since I've gotten traded. And she's just a good human. I think she has humor to her. She has wit to her. Everyone that I've talked to said that she's a great teammate. She just wants to win, right? And that doesn't mean we're always going to get it right. That doesn't always mean that our responses and the way that we handle situations is going to be right. But I mean, that's why you're the competitor that you are, and no one's going to get it right. And so I'm just excited for her competitiveness. I'm excited for everything she brings to the table. But again, I'm excited for everyone, right? You have Kelsey Mitchell, who's been a vet too, who's been there for years, who's a heck of a player as well. And so for me, just to kind of be a part of something for the first time, a new team for the first time in 6 years, I just think it's a fresh wind. It's what I needed. It's remotivated. It's refocused my energy. And again, like at the end of the day, I just want to win. I want championships, and I think this is the right team for it.
All right. So you guys heard that loud and clear. And I want to get to the article in a minute. Let me get up out of this full screen for a second. All right. Now and I want to talk about family is in sports, fans has already been vocal, passionate, and yes, sometimes even harsh. But what happens when athletes and leagues that ask for greater exposure and growth suddenly find themselves under the intense scrutiny they always sought? Today, we diving into the heart of the heat of the controversy in the WNBA, featuring the outspoken player Sophia Cunningham and Courtney Williams. Those players who've called out some real issues plaguing their league, and from referee incompetence, putting players at risk to stars players not receiving adequate protection and athletes unable to handle honest fan feedback. It's clear something's got to give. So I want to expound on that because we're going to unpack why the WNBA might be getting exactly what it asked for, but perhaps wasn't prepared for it to handle. So I just want to add some background context and preface the conversation before we have the conversation. I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. And to fully grasp this unfolding drama, we need a quick recap of what recently been involving with Sophia Cunningham, JC Sheldon, and rising star, amazing star, I should say, Caitlin Clark, the phenomenal, the one and only legendary individual herself. The WNBA, known for its spirited and intense competition, witnessed an explosive confrontation when Cunningham stepped up to defend her teammate Caitlin Clark. The spark ignited when Sheldon from the Connecticut Sun poked Clark in the eye during the game, and the incident clearly overlooked or inadequately handled by officials on the court. Cunningham taking on and enforcing her role for Indiana Fever team, her team, the Indiana Fever, retaliated with a hard foul, making headlines as tensions escalated dramatically. The result was chaos on the court, leading to Cunningham, Sheldon, and Lindsay Allen being all ejected from the game in the final moments. And the incident wasn't just about a moment of aggression, it was exposed a deeper issue in my eyes. Cunningham's reaction wasn't spontaneous, but the boiling point of a long-standing frustration while the league's handling of player safety and referee incompetence um, is way out of this league. And now with this whole backdrop, let's move into what Cunningham had to say about these issues and how her comments resonate across the league. So now let's get into the article. As it reads, it says Sophia Cunningham calls out WNBA refs for not protecting Caitlin Clark after starting fight to protect her. Indiana Fever teammate takes on enforcer role, gains over 800,000 new social media followers after defending star. So, Indiana Fever star Sophia Cunningham threw a jab at the WNBA and its referee Saturday while speaking with the reporters about her fury physical defense of teammate Caitlin Clark. Tuesday against Connecticut Suns player Cunningham called out the league for not protecting Clark during the Phenom's young WNBA career. Cunningham became a viral sensation over the last week after committing a hard foul on Sun guard JC Sheldon, and I told you already. I gave you guys the background context. Now, and this is what Sophia Cunningham had to say, right? And it says, quote unquote, during that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a buildup for a couple years now of them just not protecting the star player of the WNBA, Cunningham said. At the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. Check it out.
San Francisco. Tomorrow, you're on the Las Vegas Strip. What can the Las Vegas expect from Sophie?
You know what? I'm just gonna be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I'm dialed in. I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player. So it's all. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. Right? So then, the lack of equal protection of Clark by referees has been one of the WNBA's biggest criticisms since she entered the league last year. Clark's rookie year in 2024 included several controversial incidents in which Clark was roughed up by opposing players. Sometimes referees failed to call a foul, sparking fan outrage. This season, in a loss to the New York Liberty May 24th, took contact from New York's Natasha Cloud on the final play of the game. Referees did not call a foul, prompting Clark to throw her hands up in confusion. She and Cunningham barked at the referees as the game ended. All right. And then we have former NBA All-Star Joakim Noah, who built a reputation as an enforcer during his career while protecting the young Derrick Rose that played for the Chicago Bulls in the NBA, the men's league, told Fox News Digital in September he would urge the Fever to get a player to protect Clark for 2025. If I was the owner of the Indiana Fever, I would get a real enforcer in there to protect her. Sometimes I feel like she's getting hit because she's a very talented person, but at the end of the day, we're in the business of winning games. So if I'm the owner of Indiana Fever, I'm getting a real enforcer in there. And for those who don't know who Joakim Noah is, very phenomenal player, rebounder, very effective when it came to playing with Derrick Rose with the Chicago Bulls. So I just like to put a face to a name so you know what we're talking about. This is Joakim Noah. All right, guys? And this is obviously Derrick Rose. They played together. Actually, if you go back, this is them together with a young Derrick Rose. So there you have it, folks. So back to the article. Or actually, I want to get to Courtney Williams yet next, but I want to talk about something. So the discussion on WNBA's referee problem. Refereeing controversies aren't new to professional sports, but what we're seeing now in the WNBA is clearly genuinely alarming. Fans and players alike have repeatedly voiced their frustration over what seems to be systematic officiating incompetence, and calls are frequently missed. Blatantly incorrect decisions stand even after lengthy reviews, and there's a troubling reluctance to penalize over physically over physical overly over physical play. So basically they're penalizing over physical play. In my eyes, that borders on dangerous. And this failure isn't just annoying, it's hazardous because when referees neglect to assert control, games naturally spiral towards chaos, encouraging physical altercations like Cunningham Sheldon incident when they are reluctant to penalize overly physical plays. If it fosters an environment where players believe they must enforce the rules themselves, heightening injury risk and undermining the league's professionalism. So honestly, it's like the rules in the WNBA right now when it comes to the referees and their incompetence to officiate is, let's say, for example, someone that it wants to play the villain and wants to be the bully in the WNBA, the referees are basically catering to the bully while the victim is getting knocked down in regards of not playing things or doing things fair, objectively, abiding by the rules, right? So furthermore, this neglectance isn't isolated. We've seen similar sentiments echoed by various high-profile figures when it comes to this neglectness or negligence, including legendary Iowa standout Caitlin Clark, right? And renowned coaches like Stephanie White, all highlighting a significant disconnect between players' expectations of safety and referees' performances. And if the WNBA wants to genuinely grow and establish a brand, addressing this refereeing epidemic is non-negotiable. Fans tune in expecting competitive basketball, not brawls or dangerous fouls left unchecked. By comparison, if you look at the NBA, where protecting stars and maintaining game integrity is important or paramount, this standard of officiating builds trust and respect from both players and fans, something currently solely lacking in the WNBA. And clearly something has to change, but inadequate refereeing isn't the only tension stirring beneath the surface of the WNBA, because the broader issue of how players handle increased fan scrutiny is equally pressing, and Courtney Williams has plenty to say about that, so check it out.
Honestly, I think you just got to be built for it, man. The internet is not a real place. So I think when you treat the internet like a real place, that's when you get everybody like, oh my God. But it's like, bro, you don't know these people in real life. Just press the block button, bro. Just press the block button and then move on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take your time one night, go delete everything, block everybody, and then you don't got to worry about it no more. But
if we're off the grid, can't listen to your podcast.
Oh, well, it ain't for them. The people that want to be there won't get blocked. The people that showing love won't get blocked. If you on the internet acting like you know you wouldn't act if you was in front of this person in real life, you deserve to get blocked. And I think that's what more people need to do. Just block the people and move on, bro. Like, this is what we wanted. We wanted more eyes on the game. We wanted more people talking about the game. Whether it's good or bad, it don't matter. If you don't like it, block them. Move on. But this is what we want. This is what we always wanted. So let's embrace it.
Have you noticed the positive sides of it too? I mean, people wearing wigs to games, like, I mean, it really has, like, the internet has that bad side to it, but it also brings like a lot of hope and, you know, community to people too.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even lean into the negative. So I don't even I literally just block people. Like, I promise you, like, if it seemed mixy to me, I press the block button. Like, I have people be like, why you block? I don't know. You said something that rubbed me wrong. But I always lean into the positive side of the internet and the fans. Like, none of that bothers me, bro, because it's not real. You don't know me in real life, so you can't make me mad.
Well, there you have it. So when it comes to, and this is my just perspective of it, in my opinion, when it comes to building and sustaining a successful sports league, protecting your star players isn't just recommended, it's crucial. Star athletes attract viewers, drive merchandise sales, and elevate the overall image of their sport. For the WNBA, ensure the safety and longevity of the stars like Caitlin Clark is merely about player welfare. Is fundamental to the league's long-term financial and brand viability. And yet, when examining recent controversies, it becomes painfully clear the WNBA is falling short. Sophia Cunningham explicitly called out the league for in, failing to adequately protect Clark, one of their most marketable and talented young players, from repeated physical aggressions on court. Cunningham's point is not a minor gripe. It highlights a critical operation flaw in league management in my eyes. And for context, consider the NBA or NFL. These leagues understand the essential nature of safeguarding marquee players, right? Whether it's stringent officiating rules protecting quarterbacks or NBA referees, swiftly intervening to prevent physical escalation against stars like LeBron James or Steph Curry. Protection is prioritized because the economic and reputational stakes are high. The WNBA, by contrast, appears reactive rather than proactive, and the league's sluggishness is addressing these physical incidents sends a harmful message to both the players and fans, and star safety isn't inadequately valued or prioritized, and it risks discouraging future talent, alienating viewers, and diminishing the quality of the game. And ultimately, if the WNBA desires genuine growth, it must first ensure that the star protection isn't an afterthought. It's time for the league to implement concrete officiating reforms that prioritize player safety, clearly communicating these new standards and rigorously enforce them. But beyond just player protection, if you really think about it, another factor of the WNBA controversy is how players handle feedback from fans. Because you heard what Courtney Williams recently just said as we played the clip, sparking important conversations about athletes' interaction with fans and criticism online. And exploring what she said, in a world where social media dominates, she emphasized a critical point. The internet isn't real life, and fan interactions online shouldn't dictate players' emotional well being. And she boldly advised her fellow athletes just to block people and move on, as you guys heard her. That's her blunt advice, and blocking out negativity. And it resonates because it speaks to a truth about modern sports culture. Fans are passionate, vocal, and sometimes critical to the point of being harsh. And according to Williams, that's exactly what the players signed up for, right? When they sought out greater visibility and growth for the WNBA. And what stood out in her comments was the clarity of her perspective, because she noted the irony of players and leagues craving more attention than complaining when they finally get exactly what they asked for. And she advocate for handling this feedback, rather praise or criticism should be part of a modern I say be modern should be part of a modern athlete skill set. So her perspective wasn't dismissive, rather it highlighted genuine positives that come with increased exposure. And the passionate fan culture growing around the WNBA is essential for the league's longevity and commercial success. Yet it inherently comes with criticism. Williams suggesting embracing the good and simply ignoring the bad. I mean, I'm sure these individuals, these athletes had been criticized their whole life as they've been trying to get to the WNBA, and individuals, rather on the internet or off the internet, has something good or bad to say. No matter what you do, when you put something on the internet, it's there forever. So you may block them, but someone could just clip it and react to it, and then they could just repeat and continue to um spark up the viralness or the credibility for your video to go viral so you can block it. That doesn't stop the whole world from seeing it, but you don't have to react or respond to it, right? And that's with anything in life. Life is about 99% of how you respond to things and 1% about what was said. So her comments strike at the core issue many athletes face: how to remain professional and maintain their mental well-being while managing heightened scrutiny from fans and critics. And all the critics and all the criticism from fans may be good or bad. You take the good and you leave the bad. But you should be open to criticism, because then I mean you're open minded, and you'll be an open minded player to your team needing adjustments from outsiders criticizing you, because then they may see some that you don't see. But if you're a closed minded player in the WNBA, that says a lot about you and your character. But that's another discussion. But her advice might seem blunt, but it's practical and honest, and a need a message for a league still adjusting to grow a spotlight. And as we dig deeper, let's explore our fan culture itself is critical for any sports league aiming for genuine growth, and why understanding the dynamic is vital for the WNBA moving forward. Because fan culture is a double-edged sword, essential for any thriving sports league, yet often challenging to manage. And look, Courtney Williams' straightforward remarks have shone a powerful spotlight on this reality, forcing both players and fans alike to consider their roles in this dynamic interaction. Every major sport league, right, be it the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, thrives because of passionate fan bases. Fans are vocal, critical, and fiercely loyal. They buy tickets, merchandise, tune into broadcasts, and generate valuable social media buzz. Indeed, fan engagement directly translates into economic strength and sustainable growth for leagues. And this enthusiasm, this sometimes overwhelmingly passion that the WNBA has actively sought to cultivate. So, however, fan engagement doesn't come with guarantees of unconditional praise. Fans aren't passive spectators, they are active critics, holding players, referees, and league executives accountable. They voice their displeasure loudly, and when things aren't going well, whether that's officiating, player behavior, or general managed decisions, you know. And look, when it comes to fans, how many times you had someone be a hater, but the haters be the most loyal ones. Let's keep it real. Yeah, they talk about you, they belittle you, they criticize you, but they loyal as ever. Let's keep it real. Your haters be more loyal and committed to hating on you, which can either add fuel for you to be better, or you be weak enough and it takes you down. Because if you really look at the goodness of it, they're still paying attention to you for a reason, so you won. Haters be more loyal to you than the ones that you love. But I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you guys thoughts down in the comments below. And I know family peace.